Got a petrified fish knife here. This is, I don't know, a PFB05 BRMS 14C28N. I don't know. Man, let's get in it. Maybe it'll tell us on the inside. Oh, I'm going to have to look this one up. Yeah, this is on loan from Timber's Edge. And look at this thing. I mean, does it make you think of a petrified fish beluga at all? I mean, it's way different, enough different to go, yeah, not really, but it's enough close to go, yeah, kinda. Let me look it up. Let me give you a name on this thing. Yeah, it's the Tunny, Tunny, 14C brown micarta, and I'm not sure, G10 on the backspacer, I guess. Steel liners, liner lock, and 14C28N, big, tall, flat grind. How slicey is this thing going to be? Wonder if that Fuller's worth anything. Yep. Spidey flick, thumb flick. Come on, man. Back flipper. Wonder if I can fail it. Nope. Yeah, very cool. All right. Well, let's get this stuff out of the way and we'll finish checking this thing in. Get a look at it. Solid lockup. Centered blade. And then the liner lock. I mean, it's kind of minimalistic at like 10%. Doesn't have a lot of lockup there. So we're going to whack it. Yeah, it's solid. Very smooth action, though. I mean, drop shut. Big, hefty blade. Interesting. I mean, it's got some tension on the pocket clip. We'll see, though. It's just long. It's long. Not reversible. Man, let's get in it. T8 on the pivot. T6s the rest of the way. Pocket clip doesn't need to come off. It's been greased, and because of that, the insides of the liners are always greasy and funky. So I'm going to clean all that out. I'm going to clean the grease off of these bearings, and I am going to put a light oil on them. And so, hey, if you go over to Timber's Edge and you pick this knife up, know that all that grease is gone, and it's got a light oil on it instead. Big, tall, 14C. The blade's not as thick now that I've got it off and I'm kind of handling it. It's not as thick as I thought it was. And it has a tall flat grind on it. I mean, I'm going to expect that thing to be slicey, super thin on that edge. It's got a lanyard slot. I'm calling it a slot because it doesn't really look like a hole. Looks like more of a slot than a hole. Shine these up on the inside a little bit. Give it a little better presentation when looking at the knife. Light reflecting down in there. Lots of skeletonizing on the liners. Reduce the weight. Get these small parts cleaned up. Put this backspacer on. Captured pivot. I probably said it 200 times, but I'm sure they know what they're doing with this grease. Long term, it's probably got way better shelf life for lubrication, that grease, than the light oil I use. But I'm not afraid to get in my knives, and I just feel like it's lubricating better with the lightweight oil, so I stick with it. Not everybody agrees. And clearly the manufacturers don't. I say that, but I mean, it could be a budgetary item for them. You know, the grease is really cheap, the way that they use it. I don't know. I don't know why they use grease. I don't know that I've ever had anybody address it. But it may very well be because it's just superior to a lightweight oil. That all went really quick. Pretty simple, and these petrified fish knives are built, really well. Fundamental. All the pieces and parts fit well. I would be shocked to encounter some kind of issue or, I'm going to check these pocket clip screws, make sure they're snug. They needed a turn, no worries. This side needed a turn or two. Yep. All right. Centered. Let's check blade play. There's a little bit in there, so. There we go. We solid now. I did notice that the scale appeared to be showing some marks, and I'm sure it was from photographing. And so I'm just going to wipe that down. There we go. And then, because of that light color, I, like another knife that had white scales, I'm going to put a towel down. Keep it off that black board. I think it's time for a new board. How about that? Let's talk about this action. So, very hydraulic and smooth. The Spidey flick works really well. The thumb flick works really well off of that fuller. And of course, because it's so long, you could just do it wherever your finger drops there naturally. Just go for it. It's sharp, so it'll grab your finger and provide grip and run it. The back flipper, got great sharp jimping on it. It's going to grab the finger, and it can't be failed. Runs really well. Drop shut hydraulic action. I mean, I'm going to say it's A level to an A minus. It's just really good. I mean, it's hard for me to be critical of it and I want to be. I want to try to pick it apart. I can't grade everything an A, but I mean, to be honest, you really got to mess up to not get the action right nowadays, right? Like, I mean, if I look at 100 knives here, 98 of them have solid A-level action. It's until I get into like gas station knives, I mean, really like one-off oddball stuff that I find bad action nowadays. I think it's worth saying, and a company like Petrified Fish or, any of these brands that have been out there for a day or two, they should be getting the action right. If they're not, I mean, that's a bad deal because it's like sending out a knife with a non-sharp blade. At this point in the game, it should never happen. If you're a knife manufacturer, even if you're selling $20 knives, you got to rule one. Hey, no matter what, let's make sure our knife is sharp. Number two, if it's got bearings and stuff, make sure that the action works well. Number three, make sure the knife is safe. We shouldn't be able to contact the blade anywhere when the knife is closed on a folder. Let's talk about ergonomics. Yeah, wonderful. Just really fits in the hand well. It gets wider towards the rear here, and I like that. It gives it a really solid feel. Combat level jimping on the spine. I've found myself lately saying almost combat jimping a bunch, but this knife's combat jimping. If you dig down into it, you're not going to get past it unless you shred your thumb up. Wonderful finger guard created by the flipper tab. And so not so confident, very confident. Just go whoop, go right there. Because man, this is a wonderful confident grip. The micarta's got a good texture on it. I dig it. Reverse grip, yeah, it's just about as solid as it could be in this grip here. The thumb naturally rides over that curve. Just a wonderful grip for a hammer position. And then a few bonus points because I can get here with a hammer grip. And I'd rather be here than here. This is going with the lock mechanism, and in the event that it fails, the dull spine of the blade is going to come over on my finger. Whereas this, if it fails, you can see what will happen. Not good. Let's run the pocket clip. Yeah, deep carry, just a little bit sticking out. It's got this weird angle clip thing. And I get it because that angle matches the back angle of the knife. But yeah, it's going to do its duty. It works. Very deep carry. It's got nice tension on it. This is a big knife. It's kind of like the Beluga in that sense. It's a big knife. It could use a little additional tension on this pocket clip. I will say that. Wouldn't hurt if you pick this knife up, pull that clip, close that gap, reinstall. Install the back screw first, and then the front screw. Put a little additional tension on that clip. Help hold that knife in there. I'm going to give it the okay. I'm not going to give it a meh. A meh is kind of, yeah, I'm not a fan. It's okay. No contact here, no contact there. So the clip is okay. The tip is good, and I can handle this knife any old way I want without catching that sharp part. And speaking of the sharp part, I am excited to see how sharp is that blade. It should be just stupid sharp. Now, it is really sharp, very sticky, but it needs a strop. Yeah, it just does. I don't think Petrified fish is stropping their knives. They're not leather stropping them for sure. Because I'm going to do 2 passes. I'm going to stay high because I just want to be on that very sharpened bevel. I don't want to get on that thin part of that blade at all. It'll create like a ghost effect on there. And all I really want to do is just knock off any of the little burr that's hanging around on that knife. I am going to run this one on the wood. I feel like I'm feeling something there. Yeah, not really. One more pass. I'm putting a little extra time into this one. And I think the reason is because the blade is so tall and so thin that I want it to succeed. I want it to be that sharp, man. Come on, let's see. Yeah, wonderful. Very, very nice. And this thing's going to be super capable. 14C. Yeah, very cool. Price and availability. What's going on with this one? So this one's on loan from Timber's Edge, and you'll find it over there for just a tick over $50. And with a discount, it's going to put it just a tick over $45. So yeah, not bad. 14C, micarta, steel liners. You got a Spidey flick, you got a back flip, and you got a thumb flick for under $50. Pretty cool. And this tan, by the way, man, it'll take color. You could easily purplefy this or Merlot it or green up. Yeah, very cool. Hey, I appreciate y'all watching.